What's
Oh,
up, everyone?
wait. I did not start. Wait. Uh, we're sorry. We're sorry. Yeah. Okay.
It's okay,
I
man.
just need to go to stream output, Twitter at destination. Yeah. Stream output, Twitter at destination.
It sounds good on YouTube, man.
That's good. I'm really about to kill someone, I swear, man. That's good. That's just a joke. Really about to kill someone, I swear, man.
Yo, bro, come on, man. We're on YouTube. We gotta be civil.
Yeah, you're right.
We're-
I'm sorry. Who owns YouTube now? I forgot.
oh, the elites, the elites.
They do. They, but which elites?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry, bro. I had to add like the Rumble thingy.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, there we go.
yeah, man.
Done.
It can be
Okay,
heavy.
ça marche. Come on, go live. Destination. Enable dual output. Destination. And confirm and go live. Yes. Whatever. Yeah. Wait.
Pedro's like, you know what, man? Whatever.
Bro, that's pretty much what France is doing to me. Holy, oh my god, man! Like fuck France. La
Bro,
merde, c'est des pays de merde. Votre culture, c'est inférieur. D'Allemande.
bro,
Égalité, fraternité,
y'all
égalité,
need a good
fraternité,
old,
liberté.
y'all
Oh,
need a
s'il vous
good old
plaît.
invasion.
Nation black. Pardon?
Y'all need a good old invasion over there.
Dude, Germany from the north, Spain from the south, Italy from the other south. We got this, you know. Like I think we'll be doing a service to everyone. Also, we're live on Rumble right now. So, Rumble people, you're a little bit more later than other people because the YouTube people because we're streaming up both sides at the same time. So, if in case you don't know,
It
I
is.
hate France.
It
I
is what
hate
it
France.
is. It is what it is, guys.
Yeah,
We
mon
can't.
dieu.
It's not our fault, but you know what? France has been doing a lot of stupid shit.
Oh my god. Let me do the window capture. Can you see like my window?
I cannot see your window.
Okay, that's a problem. Wait a second. Browser, and there we go. Display capture. Add source. Where's the source? And Summers. Close. There we go. Okay, can you see it now?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, this sucks. Let's see, and what about now?
I don't see nothing, my friend.
What in the...
You're screen sharing, right?
Yes, I'm screen sharing.
Gotcha. Okay.
That is so weird. Window capture. Client area, we're in the Streamlabs. What about now?
Uh, you're asking if it's like on Rumble, right?
Maybe it would probably. Yeah. Is it on Rumble?
Let me check if it's on Rumble. I was just checking the YouTube to see if it's good. YouTube is still
No,
good.
yeah. Oh, okay. There you go. No, yeah, because window, because you're the one who's streaming from YouTube.
Oh yeah, I can see your Streamlabs right. Okay, I see the Streamlabs right now on Rumble.
There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah, I see it.
Beautiful. Oh my god, that was painful. I am so tired. Source browse.
Live chat on Rumble. You can cook us if you want. We're
There we go. Okay. And I have no idea what the hell is going with the camera, but we're live. We're live.
fucking
Finally.
live. We're fucking live. Y'all don't need the camera. Y'all don't need the camera.
No. I'm ugly anyway, so
Yeah. We're not TikTok boys.
exactly.
We're
You know. I think my hairline is starting to recede just because of how much I've been smoking. So
Well, it's also, we belong in the trenches. We're not really pretty people. We belong in warfare.
listen, man, we say that right now, but I think that we will actually like bitch out as soon as like the smoke comes. You know.
I agree, man, because I think I'd be the first one to desert. Make no doubt about it. It's-
Yes, and I'll have to shoot you because of for being such.
oh shit! You're like, I'm sorry, Orlando. You're my friend, but I gotta shoot your ass,
Yeah, man. Like, if war comes, I'm the commissar. You know, I'm probably killing more of our guys than the other side.
bro. That is funny, man. Um, dude,
It
dude, that is funny.
is.
So, we're live. We're live on Rumble. We're live on YouTube, Pedro. It's good to have you. So we're gonna go over France's debacle.
Yeah, like it happened while I was in here in France, and big news for those who don't know: Le Pen has been declared guilty for embezzlement throughout like the European Parliament, and she will actually serve a time of 4 years in prison, plus political inhabilitation.
Wow. So, um, do you think she is also obviously the front runner to to compete with Macron? This embezzlement case, like it seems kind of odd, from the United States perspective. She's seen as a far right leader. Um, sh- they say that she was banned for the fake jobs of the EU Parliament, embezzling the European parliamentary funds.
Yeah.
So, wh- what's going on over there, man? What's going on over there? Because we might have a different story over here.
Okay, from my point of view, it's really hard because okay, it is no excuse, it is no like controversy to say that the governments of Europe, like the current order, is not very fond of like the new surge of like right wing politics. And you can actually see that with, for example, like the tentatives of banning the AFD in Germany, and also like the judicial procedures of other like right wing parties that's going on in Europe. However, I do need to say that I do need to say that I do not know the details of the case. I am not very familiar about what the evidence is, but as a matter of fact, it's very likely that she did in fact actually like engage in embezzlement. So like I guess like the only criticism that you could actually make is that, well, is she the only one? Like is investment in like these European institutions like such a rare case, or it's actually something that happens much more often throughout like all of the political spectrum, and it is rather like just like a way of like getting rid of like a political enemy, you know. Overall, I would say that I have not seen the evidence, but I will say that I do trust like the judicial system. So if that was real investment, then it is a good thing that she's actually paying the consequences for that. And yeah, you know, like the and I'm just not very I'm not very fond of like the topic of lawfare in general. If you ever heard of that,
Yeah. So we I heard about that. There was the judges and the courts, certain members of the court had to be assigned security um details. Um Supposedly the court found that there was no doubt about the existence of the scheme, which undercover fictitious contracts served to remunerate people who actually worked for the
yeah,
party leaders in France. Around 4.8 million pounds. I mean euros, sorry, pounds. Um it's hard to say, it says that 12 other people have been found convicted. Um they says that They use the money for the enrichment of the party. Um, I do think that this might be an attack because I do believe that all politicians had to play dirty, you know. But I do think this
Yeah.
is attack on the far right party. What do you think?
Okay, I will say that I think it's good. I think that any politician that gets caught in corruption. I mean, for me, I think 4 years is little. I believe in death penalty for a politician who steals.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like I forgive more like someone who kills someone in a hot blood in a moment of passion before a politician who embezzles money. That that is actually the way I see things. I'm very anti-corruption.
All right, all right. So okay, but that means we have to hang Macron from his schoolyard, right? From the schoolyard that he went to school at, you know. Um,
I mean, I think most French people will agree with you.
That's so fucked up, bro. That's so fucked up.
Well, like for those who don't know, is like France is in fact it's a system that is very like lean towards like the executive power. That is something that has been happening from the times of Charles de Gaulle. But that also means that the executive, like the president, is always hated by everyone because he's basically a king, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. France has a problem with kings, you know.
Exactement. We and okay, it is a good thing that Le Pen is actually like paying consequences. That there's actually like real consequences in a case of corruption. The only thing that I need to say is she really like the only one? Is she really like the only one who is embezzling money in the European Parliament? Because I do need to say you, I was in Brussels, and we were told that just the European Commission it has around I believe more than 30,000 employees.
Okay, so it's not small, but it's also not big as either, you know.
Bro, that is huge. Employees. 32,000 permanent contract employees.
Yeah, it's
You
quite a
know,
bit. That's quite a bit.
it is quite a lot. And like the parliament, European, sorry. How many people were the European Parliament? Okay, like that is the number of deputies, but it is a lot more than that. It is like tens of thousands. And it is hard for me to actually believe that Le Pen is the only one who actually like engages in that sort of corruption. And I do think that this actually speaks more of like a situation that in Europe happens that we have a political class that profits from the system, who pretty much are what I would call parasites, all in a what is it called in a clientelar system that at the end of the day what it does is that it takes away from like the productive class, the working class,
Of
and the
course.
entrepreneurial class in order to pay for like the benefits of like people who, I mean, they may actually add something nice to society, but they may also be like what in Spain we call chiringuitos, which is just something that is created in order to like create a job and political favor.
Yeah, yeah. I for sure, man. The I think the news works in layers, you know. News obviously wants us to feel a certain emotion when it comes to these kind of things. I'm trying to see past the emotion, and where I'm getting at is that this is a repeat of Trump. This is a repeat of Bolsonaro. This is a repeat of certain. They say far right, but obviously this isn't far right. It's just even if it is far right, so what? So what if they are? That's the way the culture's going, right? Far left, far right. That's the culture, Um,
Yeah, I will say that like in the case of France, fundamentally speaking, there's really not that much of a difference between uh, like the positions of across like the political spectrum. I will say that the only difference in regards to Le Pen and National Ressemblance is that um, they're just anti-immigration, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're because they were against, like, for example, like cutting like government budget or like reducing like government spending. They follow like the same like economic policies of both the left and the center, which is protectionism. France is extremely protectionism. So fundamentally speaking, I will say that all of this is pretty much like a Notenburger. Then again, I am not that familiar with French politics.
Well, you know what, man? Neither am I, because we don't need to be. We don't need to be. We won the war for them, the United States. So,
Bro,
um,
bro,
what's up?
okay, listen, when I came here to France and learn about like the French character, hello?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go for it.
And I understand why people hate the French. I need to say it. Like, I used to think that, I think they're just misunderstood. Nope, nope. I totally understand them now. And I understand why people hate them. Like, bro, la merde, c'était payé. Vraiment. Mon Dieu.
Yeah, man. For those that are watching on Rumble, I know there's around two people on Rumble right now, three people. It's not too bad. Two people. Um, we we don't give a fuck. We like to criticize every single nationality and ethnicity and culture and religion and historical topic.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
fuck France.
fuck the French, bro.
Yeah, fuck them in particular. You know?
But
The,
the
the only
ones that
thing,
are cool, they're great. They're great.
the what?
The cool French are great.
I mean, okay, I will say that it is not a coincidence that the magnum opus of Francophone literature is called Les Miserables, the Miserables. Because holy shit, that is pretty much what the French are. Mon Dieu, mon
Bro,
Dieu. In case you haven't noticed, I am extremely pissed.
well, yeah, man. This is gonna be wild. Um, because Macron is pretty much, you know, the EU has different heads of government and heads of leaders. Um, but the thing is that Macron um is in a high position in the EU, man. Like who else? Who else but France can step up?
Yeah, exactly. Macron has pretty much become like the de facto leader of Europe at the end of the day. And it is like he actually did a visit to China. I think it was last year or something. And he actually did it with von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission. And that was actually pretty criticized because von der Leyen is actually not elected by the people, you know. And it is very interesting, like how like the balance of power really happens here. I would say that fundamentally, like the European Union is pretty much just a concert of Europe. For those who are kind of familiar with that concept, it's just that it is a lot more diplomatic, bureaucratic, and there is a lot of what would you call a lot of posturing. I need to say,
Yeah, yeah. Do, do they cuss in the European Union? Do they talk shit?
like in the parliament, I bet they do.
Because I know over here in the United States, for Congress, people are starting to fucking talk shit. People are starting to
I
cuss and
I mean, I think the American Congress kind of needs some of that. I think that the American Congress is just kind of pussy. It's
yeah,
just
bro.
kind
So
of like, yeah, it's like I do think that they need a little bit of like that Latino energy. Like a little bit of like the British Parliament.
they need to say what they really fucking think. They really need to just be like, you know what? I hate open borders. Fuck off. We're not gonna we're not gonna let this is fucked up. This is fucked up. But we're not gonna let African migrants fuck up our country. Look at Hungary. Look at Slovenia and Serbia. Look at Poland. They know how to fucking take, measures to really protect their country against migrants. And I say migrants, softly, because I come from a migrant myself. You're an immigrant yourself. Um, but the thing is that there's a difference. There's a difference between what kind of migrants come into your country.
Hmm.
There's
I
the
mean,
shitty ones that really want to do stupid stuff, and then there's ones that obviously want to work, want to make it.
yeah. I mean, I would say, it's like that's why you do need like some sort of control. I will say that I'm fundamentally like pro open border, but I do believe that you just cannot do it like out of nowhere. Because for example, it is very naive to think that, for example, that a sudden increase in like the Muslim population in a continent that was actually built upon like a mixture between like Roman Republic values, but also like the Christian values, it is very hard for me to believe that that is actually a good idea. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't help but agree. I can't help but agree. Um, I have a clip right here. You can just hear it, but it's Trump's take on this. I'm gonna play it real quick, okay?
go ahead. Are you sharing the screen or
Um,
there you go? I can see it. I can see it.
okay. All right, ready?
People
And
rumbling, but
Marine Le Pen, the far-right leader, got convicted in court and is now banned from running for office for 5 years. Do you have a comment on
That's
that?
a big deal. That's a very big deal. I know all about it, and a lot of people thought she wasn't going to be convicted of anything. And I don't know if it means conviction, but she was banned for running for 5 years, and she's the leading candidate. That sounds like this country. That sounds very much like this country.
Mr. President, Marine Le Pen, the
So he doesn't really say much,
yeah, no,
but I
but
mean, he says it's a very big deal. So it must be a very big deal.
uh, I mean, it's just really much part of like that. It is extremely bizarre, like they even use this like part of like the international right, which at the end of the day, I think fundamentally is just it's just it's just really part of like the cultural war, and why you should actually avoid the cultural war of all moments. Because, for example, in Spain, Vox used to be, and I still think they receive and give support to Trump. But with the recent tariffs that Trump actually put, including Spanish products, it is kind of hard to actually justify yourself as a patriotic party while at the same time supporting a president who wants to actually like pass policies that hurt your own economy. You know. So right now, like the far
bro,
right in
bro, let's
Spain is
be
kind of like
straight.
a very tricky situation.
Well, the far right in Spain, they weren't like they weren't they're a former shelf of themselves. Spain used to be great. Spain used to be
Well,
great.
bro, that's fucked up.
Dude,
That's
the last great leader of France was fucking Franco.
wait, what?
Dude, all the
Um,
other leaders have been bitches and pussies, man.
wait, are you talking? The leader of France, or you mean the leader of Spain?
Spain.
Okay. Like I did not remember that Spain invaded France. So,
Well, I mean,
who?
if they could, I think they should.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I think Marseille. Marseille. It should be called Marsellesa. Just saying.
Marsellesa.
La Marsellesa. Ya está. Ya está.
Marsellorca. Marsellorca.
Mazorca. Mazorca. Bro.
And then Paris can be uh, Pariña. Pariña. Pariña is a good one. Pariseña.
No, man. It is true. Like this. Oh man, like I don't want to get into like a whole. I don't want to like get all topic and start talking about Spanish politics, because that shit is super complicated, and I do not want to be accused of being a Francoist because I'm not a Francoist.
Oh,
There
me
is
either.
a
Me
lot of
either.
nuances. There's a lot of nuances that you learn once you live in Spain for like 2 years, and you actually read about it.
Yeah, yeah. I think whenever I was talking to one of my Italian and French friends, I was mentioning to them that over here in the United States, it's hard to, if you're a foreigner, it's hard to know what the politics are. I think that's like in every part of the world.
Oui, oui.
But I found it interesting that they didn't know that the Democratic Party was essentially the party of slavery, and that the Republican Party was the party of obviously, the war on terror. But they didn't know that about the Democratic Party.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, because that is pretty old news. That is like history of like 200 years ago. I don't know what happened in France like 200 years ago. Apart they probably sucked ass like they always do. Sorry, French.
Dude, that is funny. But yeah, man, I think we should go on the list of tariffs that Trump, put in place, and I think we should go over them, man, because I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So officially, the European Union it seems to have federalized. So congratulations, Europe. Federalization, federalization. Like, thank you, Trump, for federalizing the European Union, for uniting us.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome,
you.
bro. On his behalf, you're welcome.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So 20% on like the whole of European Union, 34% on China, 24% on Japan, 46% on Vietnam. What the fuck? 26% on South Korea. There's an asterisk there. I wonder what it means. Taiwan 32. Bro, that is fucked up. Taiwan.
Yeah, bro. Vietnam 46%. It's they. I do know that they supply a lot of clothes, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They and Bangladesh. So that I guess that makes sense. But I mean, Vietnam is also like an ally of the United. I mean, this is actually going to cause like a lot of like Southeast Asian countries to actually seek out China as a trade partner. So this might really be a what is it called? A foreign relations fumble, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, it does
Malaysia.
say it does say that the high tariffs on Vietnamese goods, including um, wait, it says that
Man, Vietnam got
it
fucked.
is rerouting of Chinese goods.
Cap
Also, it
Verde.
says that the U.S. has a significant trade deficit with Vietnam, and the U.S. government, as they see evidence of unfair trading practices, aiming to reduce the imbalance. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, here's the thing. I do need to like make some criticism of the criticism against Trump because it is true that European countries and also like China has actually implemented like tariffs against the United States in the past. So many of like these tariffs are actually retaliatory in itself. I will say that fundamentally speaking, the thing with Trump is that Trump does not have diplomacy. Trump is at the end of the day more of a businessman, showman, and he just does a lot like posturing. Uh, but in the end, I do feel like that is actually going to hurt the United States in the long term. I do need to say that, at least in the realm of foreign affairs. I wonder if like the tariffs on Colombia also accounts into the cocaine.
Um, it could be. It could be. I do think that obviously, we saw in the market that the stock market kind of tanked. Um,
Yeah, bro, that shit, bro, that was insane.
yeah.
God, like it lost like I think it lost like $2 trillion in value. Jesus.
I personally have my own perspective, about this. I do think that all this, unfortunately, is a consequence of globalization. We've become the most globalized we've ever been these past few decades, and unfortunately, sometimes the Earth changes. The Earth changes, and with those changes come fucking tariffs. And I do think that maybe in the long run, this could be good, but I do think that shit is gonna be hard for a good while. You know,
Bro, it went from 6,000 to 5,000 in just a matter of a month. Bro, that is. Look at this fucking dip. My God,
that's
that is
that's,
insane.
that's pretty insane.
It is insane. And here's the thing, I totally understand like the perspective of like the more like national sovereignty in regards to economics. I understand that position. Uh, but I will say that fundamentally this is a big bet. And I just really need to criticize like the way that Trump made this action. You know, I think that okay, you could actually implement tariffs, but just the way it was executed, like you cannot complain if like the markets are going to like going to be panicking now, panicking.
Yeah, dude. I think we obviously knew this. We knew that fucking this was going to be a big deal whenever Trump got into office because I mean, I personally didn't really see all this coming. Like shit just went crazy all of a sudden. Motherfucker was signing executive orders left and right, bro. Um, but the thing is that like it is what it is. It is what it is. You get your fucking
Left and
the world starts to fucking act like children, and whenever an adult comes into the room and tells you what to do, it's not fun, you know.
I mean, I do think that there's definitely going to be like a major political power shift in the next 10 years. Like things are definitely going to change. It's just not so obvious. I mean, like in what direction it's going to change. It is,
Oh, it's
yeah.
gonna be America. America is probably gonna have to live with the multipolar world. The rise of China, Russia. The EU is probably gonna go downhill after after arresting a woman.
I mean, I don't know because especially like after like the Trump Zelensky meeting, that is definitely going to go into infamy. Uh, Europe is rearming, and like we might actually observe like the creation of like a security structure outside of NATO in Europe. And you actually kind of see that, especially with, for example, when Macron actually said that France will actually share its nuclear deterrence with the rest of Europe.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Without the United States, Europe is pretty much alone. Um,
Yes and no, like because the thing is like Europe, like each country separately is not that strong, but Europe still does have like, especially with the French, like an arm industry that right now it seems that it's definitely going to start like developing ever more, especially with the nervousness of American foreign policy. So I would actually expect like greater advancements in the military of Europe in over the next 5 years. Of course, I do think it's still going to be inferior to like the American quality, especially in regards to the Air Force. But I will say that, for example, Europe can definitely like take care of itself against Russia.
bro, that is a big statement, dude. That is a big statement to make that the Europe can take care of themselves against Russia.
I mean, just think about it. Russia has lost like 50% of its equipment and it has sustained very high casualties just with Ukraine. Just with Ukraine. You know, and like the gloves are not even off yet. Like yes, Europe has given aid, and yes, it has sent like volunteers, but fundamentally it has been very limited. And Russia has also like received like the help of other countries like Iran and North Korea. Uh, its economy is still connected with that of China, which has been important with what is it called? Uh, fuck.
Who?
Which has actually helped like finance the war. So Russia is not alone neither. But even
Yeah,
then, Russia has pretty much. I will say that even if they won this war at the end, it will be an extremely pyrrhic victory. Now
so
imagine like a war with all of Europe combined.
I just want to read a comment real quick. We have a comment from Bashman. I knew MAGA was fascist, but I never expected them to genocide the stock exchange. Bashman, there's two genocides going on in the world, man, and one of them is the stock exchange. Um,
That's the
and-
only one that matters.
oh my gosh! Hey, man, we're on TikTok too. We got to be careful. We got to be careful.
Wait, we're live on TikTok. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For those that are on TikTok, I see like 7 people. Thank you very much. Y'all should add y'all's comments regarding the Trump's tariffs. What are y'all's perspective? What's y'all's opinions on the Trump tariffs? Um, put them down below because me and Pedro are gonna fight to the death that Vietnam should have not gotten any tariffs, bro.
I mean, bro, like after like the shit America did to it, it's like, come on, man. It's
That's
like
what I'm saying. They
46,
should have,
36%, bro. I mean, come on.
dude. It's the highest. It's the highest.
No, actually, highest is it's
Cambodia,
against
Cambodia.
Lesotho. Lesotho for 50%.
You know what? You know what, dude? That trade
Well,
deficit. What's the trade deficit of Lesotho? Let me see.
bro,
That is because that is wild.
Saint Pierre and Miquelon. What the fuck is it? What? It's France, but it's not France. This is Schrödinger, France.
Yo, man, this is just the way the game goes, man.
What the
Um,
hell is the, what is that territory? It's a fucking French territory, but and they gave Trump gave it like a 50% tariffs. Okay, that that's interesting.
well, I mean, look, bro. It's not easy to fucking participate in the world's markets. Okay, it's not easy. So, um, I personally have no really say with this because I don't have a lot of money in the stock market. I have a lot of money in the generals for the war that's going on over there in the Middle East that we dare not talk about.
Israel and Palestine.
Yeah, I got some money involved, bro. I got some money in there, man.
What
I
the
can't
fuck?
lose it. I can't lose
You're
it.
betting on fucking war?
I'm paying all these generals, and all these generals are just getting hit by a missile left and right, bro. And I'm like,
Bro,
hey,
why are you funding Hamas, bro?
hey,
Why are you funding fucking
I
Hezbollah?
didn't
What are you,
say
the
who it
fucking
was.
Ayatollah?
I didn't say who it was.
Like, who else will it be more, bro? Like, fucking Hezbollah got smoked last year.
Dude, um, a lot of high-ranking Hamas officials were fucking sacked, bro. They were fucking ostracized, man. Killed, fucking, um, murdered on their own fucking street, bro. This is not a game. That is crazy.
Yeah, no, like,
Israel is not playing.
yeah, 2024 was a year where Iran took like so many fucking L's, man, that I think they're like considering like reforming just because of how bad it went, It's like, whatever God that you believe in. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think that God wants you to win, or if it does, maybe it's not that good of a God.
Yeah, dude, that god is a little pissed with the Arabic world, you know.
Sorry, Orlando. Iran is Persian. You know,
You know what?
Persian.
Persian, Arabic, Middle Eastern, they're still in the fucking Middle East. They're still right there.
Yeah, they're in the fucking the
You know what,
sandbox.
man? What's your perspective on Iran?
Bro, fuck Iran. Fuck Iran, to be honest. You know. Hey, can you hear me? Are you still there?
Yeah, yeah. I you said fuck Iran, and I just got quiet. You know, I just
Yeah, I forgot that you support the Ayatollah Khomeini. So,
oh, bro, he's on my payroll. He's on my payroll. I pay him in Bitcoin.
well, at least you're trying to serve Allah. At least the
Amen.
attempts trying matters.
Yes. So, bro, um, what do you think about the rallies in Europe going on when it comes to Musk and Donald Trump?
Like, wait, we actually have protests here in Europe.
Well, I have a minute video long, so let's check it out real quick.
I mean, that's in America. That is France 24. Yeah. How many viewers do we have, by the way?
News station.
How many views do we have, by the way, on TikTok and YouTube?
Let's see. Let's see.
My friend, Madam President.
Long before there was Democrat.
All right. So
With 6
TikTok
views.
is 6. TikTok is actually just it's no, it's more. It's a lot more views, but concurrently it's 6 like viewers. But I lost track of the count. Rumble is 1 and YouTube is 0.
Well, Rome was not built in one single day.
Yeah, yeah. Rome was built on the backs of Jewish slaves, probably. All right, let's check this video out real quick.
Okay. I'm exhausted.
Cory Booker, who shattered a record on Tuesday for the longest speech in Senate history. There was Jimmy Stewart.
A man who controls a political machine.
In the 1939 classic Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. In the film, the actor plays Senator Jefferson Smith, arguing for the decency of America until he is out of breath.
Senator, you monster, I will not yield.
Do you know you have just broken the record?
86 years later, in the real Senate, Booker stood on his feet for 25 hours and 5 minutes to deliver the fiery address.
I just feel that Trump mocks us. What does his Liberation Day mean to the people that are shackled to debt?
It's the latest in a new wave of Democratic opposition to President Trump's second term, which critics have called performative and disconnected. Those opposing Trump's address to Congress last month held signs, some even turning their backs on the Republican as he spoke. The Democratic Women's Caucus has been donning loud, symbolic outfits to represent what they call a threat to women's rights.
God damn.
Despite this rising tide of anger,
Yeah, like I cannot hear the video, Orlando. But yeah, like I was gonna say, that pretty much Trump had total power because the Democrats are extremely incompetent.
Bro, the Dems, we're politically homeless, but the Dems are not. They have no plan, bro. They have no plan. They don't know how to attack Trump,
Yeah, no, man.
and
It's
if they
like
attack
Jesus.
him, they just look ridiculous, to the public.
I mean, bro, like that fucking like symbology, it's like that's it. That's all you guys gonna do. It's like the federal government is getting like gutted out, and there's nothing you can do. Seriously, it's all extremely ridiculous.
Yeah, man, I agree. I do think that the thing is that protests are sometimes protests are organic, and I believe that they should be, they're okay.
Yeah,
But sometimes protests are not organic and they just have a lot of like fishy stuff around them,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
this protest, yeah,
I mean, it is hard to explain. I will say that just fundamentally speaking, is that the Democrats, they lack leadership. There's no leader. Hey, bro, you wanna like call up this podcast? I need to talk with the love of my life.
okay, cool, man. All right,
So
bro.
thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to like follow our podcast in Spotify too, which is called the Sia symbol crest, the Sia crest symbol. The Sia crest podcast, I think it's called. Yeah, there's so far just one episode in it, but we're gonna be uploading a lot more.
All right, man. All right. So everyone, thank you very much for watching and we'll talk to y'all later.
Ciao.
Did you end it?
Yeah.
All right. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Cool. All right, man. You do your thing,
Uh,
chulo.
bro, it's like I'm just exhausted, man. It's Saturday, but I'm just exhausted.
Yeah. No. Dude, we got a lot of viewers on TikTok.
Well, really, how many?
Let me see. Because I just stopped counting, Let me see the analytics real quick because that went pretty good. Let me see. It went pretty smooth, even though we don't have our cameras on.
Yeah. That's actually. I think like my camera situation has something to do with the what's it called, with the Streamlabs.
Oh,
TikTok is
yeah.
actually
It's annoying, bro.
No, it's a lot more views, but concurrent.
Wait, is the stream off? I need to check.
Yeah, to turn off a
Uh,
stream, you have to go back to Rumble
Oh, okay, and okay, just, this is
because it's
embarrassing.
still technically on.
Let's see. Make sure to like follow the Democrats. Let's see. How do I got? Oh, okay. And